What's this like this? I'm a pizza person. You all right? So I'm just doing some testing. I'm a pizza person. All right. Oh, just turn the light on. Thanks. I've not done live streaming before, so I'm just trying to do some practicing and things like that at the moment, and then hoping to go live properly in about an hour or so, and take the laptop upstairs and get all my theme park merch behind me and things like that. How's things with you, mate? Reached 400 subscribers the other day as well. It only took me like 7 years to get there, but at least I got there in the end. Thank you. So probably take me about another year now to get 500. The Ice Festival vlog that I did. Hey, Christian, you all right? Can everyone hear me all right? Well, the closest park to me at the moment is actually New Brighton Fun Fair. Big park, probably Southport or Gulliver's World. I'm sort of like in between the two. And then like the major ones, probably Blackpool is the closest to me. You know, it's about an hour and a half drive. Alton Towers is about 2.5 hour drive from me. Because I actually live on the Wirral, so like the New Brighton Fun Fair, that's about maybe about a 20-minute walk from me. Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind living close to a major theme park, but to be fair, you know, Southport's actually coming on quite well now, and I mean, I really hope they've got Nightmare coming this year, or next year. So I know they're in denial that they've even got Nightmare, but you know, I've seen the pictures; it's there in the yard. To be honest, I'd love to get a drone, fly it over, bring it down into the yard, and film it, and then say, you know, now deny it. But the train's definitely there, and some of the track. Um, so who knows? Maybe next year, because you know they're getting rid of the Wildcat, and I just think, you know, it'd be perfect if they moved some of the rides around, like the Waltzer and things like that. Build Nightmare where the Wildcat was, and that first drop as it bends round goes right over the entrance of the park. It looked really cool. It's about time they got a proper roller coaster there that wasn't a travelling one. But I mean, I went a few months back to Southport, and you know, I quite enjoyed it. They had the Ghost Train, which last year I thought was a bit crap, but this year is actually getting a bit better. Um, and obviously the Lupin Star, that was amazing. I love the Lupin Star. Done it 3 times while I was there. But I've been waiting about 18 months for that to open, because despite it being one of these travelling rides that, you know, can open in 24 hours, it took them about 18 months to get it open. Yeah, I mean, I've seen worse rides come back from the dead. You know, I don't see why the Nightmare wouldn't open. I mean, why would they buy it if they weren't going to open it? I mean, surely they're not just going to use the train of it for a bit of theming like they did with the Dragon Flyer. I mean, not Dragon Flyer. They need to get the track for that and get that up and running. You know, it's one of only 2 petrol-powered roller coasters in the world. They need to get it up and running. But the last time I saw it, and I took videos of it, and that it's all the motor and everything's all rusted up. I don't think it'll ever go again. £800 or £800,000. I know they bought it a lot cheaper than originally. Do you know, a few years back, Oakwood Theme Park were actually looking at buying it, um, but it was part of the new area that they were going to build, because they've got this Dollland now, and Dollland originally was supposed to be um, Sleepy Hollow, and they were going to put Nightmare there, but for the budget that they had, which was something of around about like 2 million. They wanted 2 million for Nightmare, which just wasn't feasible for them because it meant them having to transport it and build it and restore it and things would have cost them too much. Tried to haggle with them, but it just didn't work. But that was like back in the days when Dominic Jones was the manager at Oakwood, but now he's down at Thorpe Park now. So Phil's the manager there now. Completely got rid of the Sleepy Hollow idea and brought in Darland instead. But this is the way with most parks these days. They're all going to, you know, kids rides, things like that. But you know, if it's £800,000, you wouldn't spend that sort of money if you weren't intending on actually getting the ride up and running. Because as far as I can see, well, from what I've heard, the track and everything for Nightmare is still pretty sound. It's just the mechanics part of it, and it can't be that much to put in a new chain motor and put the chain in, restore the brakes. It should be all right. You know, it should be able to run again. What do you reckon? Do you think they could get it up and running again? Yeah, well, last I heard, he was investing 20 million into the park, and there are rumours of a big development for next year. So I reckon Nightmare could be built if it was all on site. I mean, I don't know how much is still Camelot, but if it was all on site, I reckon probably about 6 months to do it all up. I mean, they could just build the structure, and once all the structure's all up, concentrate on putting all the mechanical parts in. Shouldn't take that much, and then maybe give it a coat of paint. It'll need a coat of paint because I don't think, with the amount of rust that's on it, I don't think it'll get right the way around. Hey Andy, you all right, mate? Yeah, I'm doing all right, thanks, Andy. You? Yeah, I intend to get to Southport this year when it first opens and see what's changed and things, and I'll get a vlog. I mean, obviously, I don't think Nightmare will be open for the opening. Yeah, cheers, Andy. It's only a test, this, Andy. I wasn't actually supposed to be going live right now. I was going to go live about 8 o'clock tonight. I still will if you're going to be about. Because I'd be going upstairs with the laptop, and then I'll have all my theme park merchandise and things behind me and things as well. At the moment, I'm just being lazy. It's like my first day off work for about 3 weeks, and so I'm just spread out on the sofa here, trying to keep warm. You'll be here at 6. Um, right. Oh, 8. Yeah. I'll go on about 8 and do it properly. But I don't mind having a little chat now. I've got nothing better to do. So you knocked another one off you, Andy. Well, I'll see what happens with this one because it's my first live one. So I'll see if they knock it off. But I can imagine I'm going to get the yellow monetization button and things like that. I don't know what's going on with them. So, Christian, do you get the annual pass for Blackpool? Who do you reckon's going to win this year? Next year, is it going to be Icon or SW8? What do you reckon will be the best? Amount of roller coasters I've been on, I think it's not that money really. about 84, I think, at last count. Oh no, 85 because I did one last week. It's only a little Caterpillar one that they had in Liverpool, but yeah, 85 I'm on. Top 10. Now you got me thinking. Well, my number one is Osiris at Park Asterix. Number 2 is Nemesis. Number 3, I'd have to say, is Megaphobia. It's hard to put them in order, to be honest. I mean, I can tell you me awesome ones, which I really, really like. I mean, I don't know, have you tried the Couch Lane at Tato Park? That's absolutely awesome. And Tonne de Zeus in Park Asterix, that's another good one. Love the Swarm. Colossus at Thorpe Park, I mean, that's a good one. I'd say it's in my top 10 for now, but it is starting to get rough. And you do get I don't know, I get a bit of cramp on that one if I'm on the front row, because there's not much leg room at all, is there? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Christian. I mean, I was thinking, I know it's like the newest wooden roller coaster being built after, what, 21 years since Megaphobia. But do you know what? I still don't think SW8 is going to beat Megaphobia. It's just awesome. But if they were to bring in something like Tato Park's Couch Lane coaster and bring that to maybe Thorpe Park, then I think that could hit the top spot for wooden coasters in Britain. Yeah, they've changed the rules, haven't they, Andy? I think you've got to get so many views now before they'll actually let you monetize. I mean, I was lucky because I monetized before they changed the rules, but I think you've got to have something like 10,000 views and so many subscribers before they'll let you monetize. 75 credits, that's not too bad. I mean, I've recently got a new job, so working in a nursing home, so hopefully, you know, with my wages and that, I'm going to get around a few more places. Hoping to buy a car next year. And I want to get over to the East Coast and do like the scenic railway and things like that. Because I want, my main ambition at the moment is to get every wooden roller coaster in Britain done. And I've got 3 left to do, not including SW8. So I want to get that done. Not really, Andy. You know, I did have a few theme park games, but I couldn't do the things I wanted to do with them, and I couldn't shape the track the way I wanted and things like that. So I got a bit frustrated. So I don't really bother with them. But do you know what? To be honest, I'd rather actually make hand-built models of roller coasters if I could. One thing I'd really love to do is actually get into laser printing. You know, the 3D printing, and actually print some roller coasters models and paint them up and things like that. I mean, I'm one that I always used to do Airfix models when I was a kid and things like that. So I think if it's more hands-on and things, that's what I like better. Yeah, I've not played it. I've not played Planet Coaster. But to be honest with you, my laptop's so old as well, it'd probably kill it. I tried, believe it or not, I mean, I like war games and things. That's my favourite. And I downloaded that, I don't know if you've seen it advertised, War Thunder, free online game. And I put it down for about a month, and my computer just went so slow. So I've had to get rid of it. I've had this laptop, about 5 years now. Put Windows 7 on it, and oh God. Yeah, I'd love to do that. It's just buying the printer and everything, Andy. I mean, I've had some ideas of like different rides and things like that, for UK theme parks and where they'd go and what the theming would be and things like that. And to be honest with you, I'd love to be able to go to the likes of Alton Towers and say, here's an idea for a ride, stick it in. But I know they wouldn't take me seriously because my name's not John Wardley. So what do you think to this idea? There's, Ripsaw's been removed from Alton Towers and been replaced with that like thing that goes around. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, there's hardly any flat rides at all in Alton Towers. So I was thinking, what if they were to get a Matterhorn, paint it up so it looks like rusty metal? The carves of it could be the blades, and still call it Ripsaw, keep the theme in. But as it's going round, it looks like a saw going round, doesn't it? And it'd stay within the theming for the whole area. Because I don't know if you realise, like, the actual theming for the area, obviously, you've got Nemesis Subterra, which hasn't been open for ages. That's where they find the Nemesis eggs and all that sort of stuff. Then you go to Nemesis, which is, the creature coming out of the ground. And then they use the blade and Ripsaw, which are the weapons used to kill the Nemesis creature. Now, when they rethemed Air to Galactica, what they really should have done was maybe call it Air Force. And the theming for that should have been that you're in the fighter jets attacking the Nemesis creature, because the ride itself goes over Nemesis. And then the whole area would be themed because Galactica is just out there on its own. It's not got any specific theme into the area. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? All right, Andy. Yeah, I'll be back on about 8 o'clock if you're about. All right, take it easy, Andy. See you later. Hey, McPizza person. You all right? You guys getting much of a delay on this? I reckon there's about a 10-second delay. Yeah, because I can see myself on the screen here, and it seems to be about like 10 seconds from when I speak to when it actually moves on the screen. But it's going through this Google Hangouts and that as well, so I don't know how it works. As I say, I've not really done it properly before, so. So what's been your favourite video so far that I've done? I'd say next year I'm hoping to get around a few more places. Hopefully I'll have a car, and hoping to get round to like doing some of the parks in Wales, you know, like Ter Prince and Knightley's, and then getting over to the East Coast and going to Margate and Great Yarmouth and all that area. I'm wondering whether to try maybe, making a weekend of it, getting down to Poulton. So I've never been there before either. Oh, you like the Pierhead one? Pierhead Village. Do you know what though? I think this ice festival they've got on at the moment is actually better than the Pierhead Village, because there seem to be a lot more rides. But yeah, I mean that Mach 5 booster and Dad's Fun Shift that they had in the summer was awesome. So yeah, I did enjoy that. But you know that the action tower that they had, it was like really, really bad. I mean, there was just no force to it at all. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to go back to the ice festival in the next couple of weeks. Um, I'm debating whether to actually. What do you reckon? Should I do a little vlog as well from the other half of the ice festival that they've got in Liverpool One? It's only really kids' rides, but they've got a Helter Skelter. I know I'll look a fool going on it on my own, but I'm prepared to do it if you want to see it. And they've got a little kids' coaster and a few other little things like a carousel, things like that. So it'd only be a really short vlog, but do you reckon I should do it? Maybe get it done just before Christmas. Because I've got a week off from work now. So I've got to find something to do. Yeah, I've already got the credit. I got it last year. I did do the other kiddie coaster they've got at Pierhead. Did that a couple of weeks ago, actually, before I did my vlog. So I have got the video of that in my videos already. So that was like my 85th credit. Um, so I don't know. It's a good little coaster, isn't it? I mean, I think it was brand new last year as well. And I thought, this is so clean. And then I realised, it's only a few months old. I think Michael Wallace had only just bought it. But I mean, there just seems to be so many of these like Caterpillar rides, but they've got new themes. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, they had one at Barry Island a couple of years back, brand new, called Shark Tales, and it's all themed on a shark. So yeah, Oh, you've been to the Pierhead this year? Did you go to the what do you call it? The ice bar? I'll be honest though, when I went in that ice bar, you're supposed to get 25 minutes. I only stayed in there literally 10 minutes, and I was too cold. Came back out. And to be honest with you, I wish I had some gloves for that ice glass as well, because it was so cold. When I was putting it down, my hand was like that, freezing, trying to put it down without knocking it flying. And then, I don't know, I just felt so numb in there. And then I saw these other people trying to escape, pressing the green button to get out, and I was like, I'm following yous. I'm getting out of here, it's too cold. Yeah, the ice slide's good. I didn't do it this year. I'm probably going to do it at the weekend. But I did do it last year. I had a good crash, actually. It's in my videos. Coming down the slide and hit the barrier at the end. And the whole thing just flipped over. I went flying. My GoPro went flying. And all you heard was this girl going, "Oh, you all right?" Like that, running over, trying to help me up. And proper like seeing stars. I wouldn't bother with the ice skating though, it's too expensive. And I'd probably break my neck. So where's everyone looking forward to going to next year? Anyone got any theme park plans? Going anywhere you've not been before? Or are you just looking forward to any particular new rides opening? Ah, brilliant. Have you been to Tato Park before? It's brilliant there. I mean, I didn't go last year. I wanted to get there last year to try out the new Viking Voyage, but I think that's going to obviously be next year now. Fly out from Liverpool with Ryanair. Do you know what though? I went there a couple of years back, and they just got the Power Surge ride, the new Power Surge, and yeah, it was a good ride. But you know what? I saw building work going on, and I thought it was for the Viking Voyage. And literally about 3-4 weeks after I'd been there, they announced that Endeavour was open. I was like really gutted. And then they went and opened up the new one. Oh, what's it called? The one that's like hang gliders. Forgotten what it's called. They opened that one a few weeks after, and I was like, literally within 2 months of me being there, they opened up another two new rides, and I was like really gutted. So I'm just hoping that I get to go next year, because I'll get them two new flat rides in, get the Viking Voyage in, and I don't know, they'll probably get more flat rides. But do you know what? I really hope they get a new coaster as well. I think the plans are that come like next year or the year after, they're looking at getting a hybrid in, because they like to keep things. I don't know if you noticed, most of the rides that they have, they're all either red and yellow. Sorry, red and blue to match the colour of the packets of crisps, or it's all wooden. So if they get a hybrid in, whether it'll be wooden with a metal track or metal with a wooden track, I don't know. But as long as it's got inversion things, because yeah, I'm more of an inversion kind of person than an airtime kind of person. So my favourite coaster is Osiris at Park Asterix. It's absolutely awesome. From 1994 to 2014, so for that 20 years, it was Nemesis. And then I went to Parc Asterix for the first time on my birthday, and I rode Osiris, and it instantly became my number one. It was actually, believe it or not, I nearly cried. It was quite an emotional feeling to have actually knocked Nemesis off the top spot. But yeah, Osiris is absolutely awesome. I had to get the t-shirt and everything. So, but yeah, if you ever get the chance, go to Parc Asterix. I would actually say Parc Asterix is better than Disney for the rides, you know, that sort of stuff. Because I'm not, I know they say about the magic of Disneyland and all that sort of stuff, but you know what? I'm not really interested in Mickey Mouse and things like that. I just want the rides. You know, I'm not even bothered about theming of rides. I mean, if you go to the likes of Oakwood, hardly any of the rides at Oakwood, apart from in Neverland and in Dollland, none of the other rides have got any theming, but that doesn't change anything. I mean, Megaphobia does not need any theming. It is just awesome. Speed No Limits, again, you know, it's the UK's first Eurofighter roller coaster. It's still the smoothest Gerstlauer out of all of them. You know, it's still smoother than the Smiler, and that's only like 4 or 5 years old. But it's got no theming, but it's still a really good ride, and it was actually my first ever Beyond Vertical roller coaster. I mean, Oakwood is actually, I would say, one of my number one parks, because although to look at it, it looks a bit run down, this, that, and the other. It's got a lot going for it, I think. It's just a shame it's in the middle of nowhere with no public transport. So it's really, really quiet. But it actually gave me quite a lot of my firsts there. I mean, I rode my first wooden roller coaster at Oakwood. I rode my first Beyond Vertical roller coaster. I rode my first sort of water flume coaster at Oakwood. And what are them rides called? You know, the ones they've got one at Oakwood, Tinks Flying School, and it's where you sit in like a tub and you go, it spins round, and you've got like the sail. You go backwards and forwards, and it makes you swing out and in. Got loads in America, but this is the only one in Britain, and I really like it. When I first rode it, it was actually called Plane Crazy. Opened up Neverland. They've rethemed it as Tinks Flying School. But yeah, you know, I like it. And do you know what as well? I don't know if you've ever seen Treetops roller coaster. I mean, it's a pretty standard layout. But do you know what? At night time, if you're riding it in the dark, it is really good. You cannot see where you're going at all. Going around the woods, you don't know where anything is. There's no lighting whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, especially if you're on the back row, you get blinded by the camera flashing in your face about 20 times. And then you end up with spots on your eyes. But do you know what? It's like, have you ever ridden 13 in the dark? And you're going around the woods and it's pitch black. It feels like that. So yeah, I mean, Treetops can be quite a scary ride when it's dark. Oh yeah, and the bobsleigh at Oakwood. Scary when it's wet. You nearly go flying off the track when it's wet. But yeah, I had a few little accidents on that before myself. Actually, come off the track. So it's one of them. When you come off the track, you have to get onto the grass. Wait for the next one to go past, because you know you've got time then to jump back on the track and get back down without anyone else crashing into you. Well, that's a fun one. But they've got another one in Wales, in Pembrey Country Park. If you go to Pembrey Country Park, they've got one called Cobra, which is actually the largest one in Wales, and it's awesome. You get 3 goes for about £4 on it. Hey, Slothy, How you doing, mate? Yeah, Peter. They do run it when it's wet. I mean, if it's completely drenched, then they won't. But at the side, they actually have sleds which have actually got wet only written on them. And basically, it's got the brakes slightly applied on it. So all the way around, you are actually sort of braking, even though you're not trying. But yeah, they do. It does keep going. I mean, if it was so torrential that it was like a waterfall going down, then no, they won't run it. But if it's a bit of drizzle and that, yeah, they keep it running, and it's really slippy. Dave, it was just literally a test, but then people started coming on, so I just got talking. But I'm going to do a proper one at about 8 o'clock upstairs later. So can you hear me all right? Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Are you? I reached 400 subscribers the other day, so I was kind of doing a little bit of a celebratory thing. Cheers. Thanks. So yeah, they do run it when it's a bit wet sometimes, but as I say, not torrentially wet. Bit of drizzle, that's absolutely fine. And then you just get the wet sleds out, so you can feel it like as you're going down, but there's just no friction, so you just go sort of flying off on the corners if you don't use your brakes. All right, Peter. Cheers for joining us. Take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon. Yeah, Dave, did you have a look at me Ice Festival one? I was absolutely freezing my balls off. It was, oh my God, it was so cold. Being at the top of a 200-foot booster in the snow and, with all the wind and everything, I came off that like an ice block. Yeah, do you know what though? I can't monetize it because that Jingle Bells music I put in it is copyrighted. But I don't care, to be honest. Foiled up. What in the yeah, like ready to go in the oven I was. Yeah, hang on, I've still got it. I'll show you. There you are. There's my poncho. Felt like a right numpty wearing that. Do you know what though, right? You're supposed to spend 25 minutes in there. And I only managed 10 minutes and I had to escape. Like holding that ice shot glass and everything like that. My fingers were freezing and just ended up feeling really dead numb. And then I saw all these other people trying to escape, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm following you, getting out of here. And then as soon as I got out of there, I went for a Bailey's hot chocolate to warm up. But do you know what? I've done the one in Amsterdam on for my 30th birthday, the ice bar, and it was so much better than the one in Liverpool because you get a 3D cinema. Your ponchos and everything are more thicker, and you get mittens and all that sort of stuff. It's actually snowing in there as well, and you get 2 drinks, all included. Yeah, it's about 10 degrees in the ice bars. What was the one in London like? Was it any good? Because the one in Amsterdam is sponsored by Smirnoff, and it's really good. Like, yeah, you can't beat a nice Bailey's hot chocolate. I was probably having a coffee or a Bailey's hot chocolate after every ride, though, to warm up. Tell you what, it's a shame you don't live closer, actually. I'd meet you over in Liverpool and do some rides with you. That ice jet is absolutely awesome, you know. I reckon you'd love that. You know, you get a good ride cycle as well. I mean, all the disco lights and everything on it, and the mirror balls just makes it absolutely awesome with the smoke machine and if you go in there as well, it's like, you know, like when you go on a normal like Matterhorn or something like that, and they tend to have the speakers by the control box, don't they? So as you go around, you literally just like get glimpses of the music as you go around. But with Snowjet, with IceJet, they've got the speakers all the way around the top, so the music's just constant all the way around. Really good. Yeah, Dave, this isn't Snowjet. This is IceJet. IceJet's amazing. They've got one called Snowjet at Southport, um, but no, it doesn't run as fast as that, and it very rarely goes backwards either. And the theming's not as good. So you know, this is I have to say, IceJet is the best Matterhorn I've ever done. Oh, you're back, are you, Peter? I thought you were going. Yeah, the Southport one's not as good. You know, I thought it was good until I've ridden IceJet, and IceJet's just blown it all out of the water, I'm telling you. Coney Beach. Is that the, yeah, that's Porthcawl, isn't it, in Wales? See, I only ever went to Coney Beach once, and there was hardly anything there. So I spent about half an hour at Coney Beach, done a few rides, done their afterburner, and then I literally went for a little walk down on the pier, down towards the lifeboat station. Got a bit of a cough at the moment, dead dry. So, so what are your guys' favorite roller coasters or rides? Yeah, I'm going to try and get to Kearney Beach again this year, because obviously when I went there, it was before I started doing vlogs and things. So yeah, I'm going to give it another go and start doing vlogging. Because I say, I mean, over the years, the places I've been to, like I've been to Knightleys and Tir Prince in North Wales near Towen and things like that, but I've never done vlogs there. So, you know, because I've only really been vlogging for about 2 years properly. Megaphobia. Hey, Slothy, did you know I've got a Megaphobia wheel? Megaphobia was actually my first wooden roller coaster I ever did. It is awesome, like. So, yeah, got a Megaphobia wheel last year off Mark. He met me down at Drayton Manor and gave it to me. Weighs a ton. You never got to Southport this year, did you, Slothy? If you're interested, next year, if you want to come up, we'll do Southport together. You can stay here as well. I've got a spare bedroom, so yeah, you can stay over if you want. Go for a few drinks together. What do you reckon? If you're really lucky, you can get 2 parks out the way. You can do Southport and New Brighton. Yeah, all right. I'm up for that. Let us know when you're going. And I'll see if we can book the day off work, and I'll meet you at Southport. We'll do a vlog together. What do you reckon? Because I want to go early on next year as well, anyway. Because I'll say there's supposed to be a new major investment coming. I don't know what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sound. Like actually, if it's going to be sort of, is it going to be like about February, March that you're going? Because if it is, I'll see if I can book a week off work and might even join you in Blackpool if you're up for that. If you want to do that, and we'll do Blackpool and then do Southport. And if you've got a bit of time, then maybe even do New Brighton if you really want to. I've not been on the piers at all. I want to do that. I need to do the piers. I mean, for next year, my plan is I want to vlog Tare Prince, Knightleys. I want to get over to the East Coast and do Margate and Great Yarmouth. And then I want to do the piers in Blackpool. I need to get them done. And then maybe sort of summertime, I want to get down to Poultons for the first time because I've not done Poultons before. Yeah, no worries. Just let us know when it's coming round, and I'll meet you up there or whatever. And then if you need a place to stay in that, you can stay here. You know, like after you've done Southport and that, if you need a place for the night, you know, saves you having to get a hotel. Got some nice pubs around here as well, so go for a drink. Oh yeah, and I really want to. As I say, I want to get over to Tato Park as well next year and get on that Viking voyage. Yeah, Breen. I've seen Andy's vlogs of that. Looks good. Yeah, I'd give that a go. What about M&D's? Would you do M&D's? It's a bit of a controversial one, that isn't it? M&D's, but Yeah, for the what? For the bants. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon, okay, so they had an accident, but so did Alton Towers. I'm sure they'd learn from it. To be fair, actually, it wasn't even M&D's fault, was it? But I don't know how they can call themselves a theme park. They've got no theming. New Brighton have got more theming on their bins than what M&D's got all together. Yeah, I've not ridden it yet. I went to Oakwood at Easter, but the ride still wasn't open. But apparently, it's very, very rough. I liked that video that Mark did live. He was going up the lift hill and it just stopped. Someone says, "Does this ride go upside down?" He says, "Upside down, it doesn't even go up." But you know what? It's like, what, 30 years old, that ride, isn't it? Do you know what? Oakwood's actually one of my top parks. I mean, as I've said, there's a lot of firsts in that park that I've done. I rode my first wooden roller coaster there. I rode my first Beyond Vertical roller coaster there. Um, Drench was like the first of a kind for me. Riding treetops in the dark was just amazing. Um, my first bobsleigh was there. My first 3D ghost train was there. It's really good. I like it. It does look a bit run down and things, but you know, I look past all the grime and things. And I mean, to be honest with you, you should have seen the place before. When I first went about 4 or 5 years ago, and Neverland didn't even exist, and like Tink's Flying School was called Plane Crazy, and there was the old Brer Rabbit ride, and um, all the area of around where Darland is now was all derelict, and there was a little arcade there and things like that. And when I went there, it was abysmal. The whole park looked like it was falling apart. But after riding the rides there, it was like, do you know what? I don't care about the condition of what things look like as long as they're safe. And you could still see they were safe, and you could see how they do the maintenance there and things like that. And yeah, and now if you look at the park, it's 100 times better than what it was when I first went. Yeah, I mean, did you do treetops in the dark? Because if you do treetops in the dark on the back row, I mean, it's pitch black. There's no lighting whatsoever because you're in the middle of nowhere, around all the trees. You don't know what's coming. But then you end up getting blinded by the camera flash. It's a bit like when you first start on 13, on 13 in the dark, you can't see anything. Yeah, speed is good. What do you reckon for the smoothness of it? Bearing in mind, it's like the oldest Gurchler in Britain, and the Smiler's like 4 years old. And how rough is that? It is intense. I mean, the loop is awesome, and that helix at the end, that's where the force is. But the airtime hill straight after the first drop, you're out your seat for about 2 seconds on that, and it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I think ride quality, ride wise, speed has got to be better than Saw. I know it's got no theming, but I don't really care about the theming, to be honest. Yeah. The fact that you like look right, you can see the whole roller coaster, can't you, from the top of it, all laid out in front of you. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah. Could do with a coat of paint though. I'll say that much. Needs a coat of paint now. I mean, it's not been painted since what, 2006, so 11 years without a coat of paint. But you know what? Thinking about it, maybe it's smoother because it gets used less. Because you think about it, Oakwood's only open weekends and holidays, whereas Merlin Parks are open all year round. You know, every day. Yeah, I saw that. You got soaked. The first time I went on waterfall, I came down, and my shoe came off, flew over my head, and landed in the water behind me. Fish it out, and I spent about half an hour in the toilets at the back of Speed under the hand dryer trying to dry my shoe out. Yeah, but have you noticed as well with Speed? You look at the track on Speed, and it's only like a thin track, isn't it? Even though it's a Gersler, it's just the track. But you look at the likes of like the Smiler, Saw, Rage, and all that. It's triangular track on them. So even though it's like a Eurofighter coaster, the track is completely different as well. Yeah, I haven't seen Trenchcoat for a while actually. Every time I'm going to the park, it always seems to be closed. But Drench is so good, you know, when it's a hot day. But did you manage to, did you go on Vertigo? Because Vertigo is so cool. But do you know what? Right, you're not allowed to go on Drench before you go on Vertigo because apparently the chemicals in the water would rot the straps on Vertigo. All right, Dave. I'm going to be back on about 8 o'clock. All right. So if you want to come back about 8, and then I'll have all the theme park merch and things behind me as well. Cheers for joining us anyway. Famous words of Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right. Cheers, Dave. See you later.